The Chicago Bulls are resting their players already heading into this game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Plus, Josh Giddey wants his playoff redemption. Will he get it here with the Chicago Bulls? And something me and Pat miss, Billy Donovan, Hall of Fame coach. We're talking about all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Hayes, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. Pat, no ad sponsor today at the start of the show. We're getting right into it, man. The Bulls have already announced that Coby White is out for this game tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Huerter's also out tonight, with Josh Giddey and Nikola Vucevic both listed as questionable. How do you feel about the Bulls resting players going into a game that was one of the last big games on the schedule this season?
I'm twofold on this one, right? On the one part, it's like, this is a stupid decision to rest people, because that's exactly what it feels like. I don't think that you're in a position where you can go out there and rest guys. And it feels like, I thought Casey Johnson tweeted it out perfectly yesterday, unexpected, because who are you to say that you're good enough to win the second of a back-to-back? And so we can rest guys in the first of a back-to-back, knowing that we're going to take the win in the second game versus the Miami Heat.
Well, I think that's what they're saying, is that we don't think we're good enough, because the Bulls are 4-8 in the second of back-to-backs this season. I took this as saying, hey, we're not good enough to win the second of a back-to-back. If we play and compete against the Cleveland Cavaliers, let's rest guys so we can go harder for the game that actually matters for our stand. I still think it's weird, right? I'm not sitting here saying like, hey, this is the right thing to do, is rest guys at this point in the season. I'm just saying that I can understand the logic. It doesn't mean I agree with it.
I don't even understand the logic, because that would assume that you feel that you're a good enough team to guarantee wins, or to guarantee to put yourself in a position where we don't need that loss. We can just go out here and win this game. Listen, Donovan Mitchell playing.
It is a more important game.
I mean, either way, I think they're all important at this point, right? It depending on what you're trying to get to. But I'll tell you what, if you lose that game, and don't Miami play today as well?
Yeah, Miami plays today as well.
If you lose that game and Miami wins, tomorrow's game doesn't matter as much.
It still does, because you still gain it, because we own the tiebreaker over Miami. So even if we finish with a tie, and then Atlanta faces the Magic and Hawks face each other 2 times over the last 4 games. So you're hoping, what the Bulls are basically hoping for is that Orlando Magic beat the Atlanta Hawks twice, and the Bulls can at least beat the Miami Heat in the next game and win the 2 last games of the season.
Yeah,
basically what they're doing.
I think you're this lofty dreams. You know what I mean? I don't think you're at a point where you can't go to war with your best out there.
Oh, it's a rational confidence either way around it, right?
But the one thing I will say about it, and why I said I'm twofold on this, is on the flip side of it, I think that this is a game where Matas is going to get to have his P. Will moment. And what I mean by that is that Minnesota game where P. Will was the focal point, and it's all on you. Whatever happens today is based off of how well you score today, my boy. How much fish you put up.
Taylor Horton Chucker's out there. THC's out there. He's going to be Chucker. Taylor Horton Chucker. He's going. We say that it's going to be the modest game, but THC's going to be out there like, hey, this is my time. 18 shots.
And listen, that could be the case too. And the reason I say I'm twofold on it, because like the confidence that could be built from Matas going out there and being even competing in a game like that. No Donovan Mitchell. I don't know how many people are going to sit or play for the Cavs at this point. They may end up sitting more by the time we get to the game, because they see how many people the Bulls sit and say, well, let's get ourselves some rest as well here. But I think that if the fact that Matas is going to get an opportunity here to kind of show out and be the focal point of it, even THT, as much as it sucks, if you're going into a playoff series, you're going to probably need THT in that hairline. And is he going to be Chucker or Tucker? You know what I mean? That's the real question that you got to ask yourself.
The answer to that is yes.
Exactly. And you're also I would assume this means we're going to get some Zach Collins, Jalen Smith minutes and finally get a chance to see.
If we don't get Jalen Smith in this game, bro,
might get Jalen Smith minutes. Like
bro,
those are positives that I look at and say, if I would like to see some confidence built in those players.
If EJ Liddell plays over Jalen Smith today, we just got what did he smack Billy Donovan's daughter? Like, what happened here?
Hey, what's buddy name? Miller. They got his first bucket. EJ Miller. Like, they just start putting mugs out there that we ain't even heard of.
Marco Simonovic, where'd he come from?
Bro, Adama Sanogo comes back. Like, I thought we got him. I thought we got rid of him.
Marco Simonovic cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase.
He hits Jalen Smith over the head with it. I'm cashing this in now. Bro, listen, like I don't know, the whole rested players and all that stuff. I get it, and I think that there's some benefits to it, especially given the rest. But I do think that you're not in a spot that you can just take this gamble to me if you're the Bulls, especially now that Donovan Mitchell is sitting out.
Yeah. I mean, and I know the Cavs have only announced Donovan Mitchell out so far. I would not be surprised if we hear a couple of more names, or if even it's like they play a half. Like, who knows, right? But it was weird timing too. Like, they announced it at 4 p.m. yesterday.
Yeah, that's how you know it's rest.
Yeah, it's like,
that's how you know it's like, oh, these mothers ain't hurt. That mother, and they were just dropping. They was just dropping injuries on there. It was like,
bro,
they said
Kevin Huerter was listed as a strained cervix.
Bro, that's what I said. I was like, I don't think we have that. I didn't know. Hey, bro,
a cervical sprain.
Bro, I legitimately was like, now I know it's 2025, but did I miss when all of a sudden we could strain our cervix? I didn't know that was a thing that I could do. I thought that was an injury I would never have to worry about in my life. But apparently Kevin Huerter has found that injury and has strained it. That is what kind of pain is he in?
Hey, you got to be in some serious pain because once I saw that, bro, I was like, yeah, they really don't care, bro.
They just started listing long words. I used to do that when I worked at AT&T. If I wanted to get out of a customer house because they was just being irritating and their stuff was working, I'd be like, yeah, the attenuation that's around the room here just isn't getting a great signal, and so we're gonna have to go up to the conflangular device back in the home office. And I just start throwing big words at them. That's what they did with the Giddey injury, bro. Josh Giddey has got a right flexor capriolaris tenopathy. They just threw in tenopathy at the end. There's nothing else. And I know I don't know like medical jargon, but what is tenopathy?
Kevin Huerter, right cervical sprain.
It's to the right.
Bro, that's
yeah, man. Everybody else, like Vooch, right calf soreness. All right, okay. Trey Jones, left mid-foot sprain.
So tenopathy is a general term used for random tendon problems. So they just saying he got a problem somewhere in the tendon.
In all tendons.
It's somewhere in what tendon is it? Yes, that's.
But see, that's the problem. Then it's just Coby White and it's just rest. And he was a little tired, need a little break.
He was up to about 4 o'clock in the morning.
He was on that. He was on video games, bro. He was playing that new game, man. Yeah, man. He's been on the show. I've been on the show. Show's a problem,
bro. The show. Show's
a problem.
Hey, bro. Low key, the show has been getting better and better each of the last 3 years, and I think they finally it's the perfect baseball game now,
bro. I said, the show is the most accurate. I don't know what you would call it. Like, insert yourself into the NBA life or NFL life.
Yeah.
Like, the road to the show is the most accurate because, man, like when you're down, if you're having a bad week, it can turn into a bad month real quick.
Real quick.
Hey, dog, I'll be like,
I
can't hit nothing. What is happening?
Yeah, it's crazy. But with that said, so the Bulls are going to be sitting players today. You're probably if Josh Giddey does sit, are we seeing a Javon Carter THT backcourt? They're going to throw Dalen out there. What do you think they do in there, Pat?
Yeah, I would say you're probably doing a Dalen Terry. Who's left at the 2? We lost a lot of guards. I would say probably a Dalen Terry. It's going to be Javon Carter. No, probably THT. Dalen Terry.
Well, you started
THT.
Dalen at the point?
Dalen at the point.
I don't think Billy Donovan's going to start Dalen at the point. Javon Carter's definitely going to start at the point if Josh Giddey's out.
I don't know.
We'll
I think you do Dalen at the point. I think you throw THT and Matas out there. I think P. Will sneaks his way back into the starting lineup.
Oh, P. Will's definitely starting for Herter today. Or you're moving Matas to 3 and P. Will at the 4.
Yeah. And then I think you get some Zach Collins time, and the second P. Will throws up a shot that just goes into the ocean. Immediately Jalen Smith comes into the game.
We'll see about that Jalen Smith one, but we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to talk about an article with Josh Giddey in it. Surprisingly, Joe Cowley that was actually really good written. We're going to get into all that.
Fire.
Hey, Cowley is on fire. We're going to talk about all that and more but after a message from Robinhood. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on your retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%, plus you get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on our annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at least $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. The over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. More Locked On Bulls coming up next. All right, Pat. Joe Cowley, who, by the way, I know this isn't what we're here to do, but we've been having fun today. It's the end of the season, last week of the regular season. The fun times are coming in the summer as well. The back and forth between Stacey King and Joe Cowley was one of the most unexpected social media moments of 2025 that I did not know I needed.
Listen, Stacey and Joe always, I feel like, have had an adverse.
It's been a little tension, but they've never just gone all the way. It's been like Kendrick and Drake, where they've been throwing shots for years and it finally erupted.
Yeah, because Stacey loves the team and Joe hates him. But the one thing that I will say is, like, I ain't gonna lie, when Joe Cowley dropped that, I we could have a debate and I could be 100 because I don't have to have Uncle Jerry his opinion in my mouth or something like that. I was like, hey, Joe, whoa, what are we doing? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Joe know he got to see Stacey, right?
Yeah.
Stacey, big dude.
Yeah.
Stacey, a big dude. Now, Stacey been through a few surgeries. Joe, man, you might be able to bob a weed there, but you gonna be back in the UC. And Stacey is there all the time. I ain't gonna lie. I was cracking up at the whole back and forth, but it was a little contentious.
It's gonna be one of those Bane moments where Stacey sees him and be like, "Hey, Joe, do you feel comfortable right now? How comfortable do you feel?"
That's gonna be one of the most. Stacey gonna punch him and the pillar explodes.
That is hilarious. But to get into this article, man, this was a really good article by Joe Cowley, and I'm all for giving people their flowers on things that they do. That's great. This was very well written, very open. In this, Josh Giddey talks about how he had a 15-hour plane ride after being eliminated by the Mavericks last year in the playoffs, going back to Australia, and because there was no Wi-Fi, he didn't have his phone. It was just him sitting with his thoughts. And he talked about how he vowed basically to himself that the next time he got a shot at the playoffs, he would not allow what happened against the Mavs to happen again. And he, even going on to talk about like him joining Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan if he finished the season as one of the third Bull to ever finish the season, averaging 7, 7, and 14, at least that, like all these things, like we don't get to see a lot during the season from these players. Like, of course, we get to see little social media moments, things like this, but having this introspective kind of article here towards the end of the season, I think it spoke a lot about who Josh Giddey is as a person.
Listen, I think it was a well-written article. The one thing I will say is, and especially talking about the redemption and the fight back, you've already I think you're a completely different player than what was in that series. And it's because you're in a better fit. When you talk about how Josh Giddey looked in that Dallas series, Josh Giddey looked horrible for a reason. They were trying to play him at the 2.
No, they were playing him at the 3.
They're even worse. Like it was just, they had him all over the place. They had him playing in positions that it just didn't make sense for him. They're trying to have him out there with Lou Dort and Shea, and it got to the point where in the fourth quarter you couldn't play Josh Giddey, right? That sucks. Josh Giddey this season has been much better defensively. He's been much better getting to the bucket. I think he's now unlocked his scoring a little bit more. His shot has been much more proficient, which probably would have been more helpful with him playing 2-3 last season. To me, like the conversation on Giddey and how much he's changed as a player in 1 year to the next is incredibly impressive. I would argue that's probably not going to work. No, because who we say Cade is probably going to get it. I would argue, and we had this conversation, that Giddey is in the running for most improved player this season, but it's probably going to be Cade because Cade basically took the Pistons from one of the worst teams in basketball to a 6th seed in the playoffs. But yeah, man, Josh Giddey has really turned his entire game around. I just feel like the redemption to, like, don't view this as the redemption tour because I don't know if you have the team to view it as the I'm just here to prove that I belong in playoff basketball and I could be a focal point of a team. That's what I would love to see from him in the playoffs. Because listen, if we go up against Cavs, there's a clapping coming. You know what I mean? It's
I mean, and I think what like also in that series, and people forget this, is like Shea and Jalen Williams hit just the wide open threes at 27 and 28% last year. It wasn't just Josh. Like, of course, Josh was unplayable at points in that, but I think people, like, he's been made the scapegoat for everything that went wrong in that series, and he's not. There was a lot that went wrong for the Thunder in that series, and you know, it is what it is. As far as most improved player, I think it would be difficult for Josh. Like, if the Bulls were winning earlier, he probably would be, but like, you got Cade, you got Tyler Hero, you got Dyson Daniels. I think all those guys are probably higher in the odds than him so far this year. But yeah, I tell you what, if he keeps up what he's been doing post All-Star break next year, the award is his. You might as well take that away. The award, matter of fact, 1-2 may be him and Coby if they both keep up what they did here at the end of the season into next year. Yeah, listen, I mean, like, you're talking about a young man who, one, the numbers are going to speak to it more because half a season he couldn't half a season. And I think that's the thing. That's the growth. He was that Josh Giddey for half of this season. He was the dude who was unplayable in the fourth quarter of games. He was the dude who defensively just did not fit. It seemed like any scheme. He was the guy who he's putting up 11. He's having some good games, but he's not having great games. That all changed. And it took getting everybody out of his way and letting him basically go out there and be, hey, look, this is your team now. Go out here and run it how you will. All right, you mind if I get 27, 17, and 9? Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Like, it took him getting the opportunity, which this happens all the time in the NBA. It's the politics of the game. You weren't going to move on from Shea because he's an MVP candidate. You move on from Josh Giddey. Doesn't mean you want to. He just doesn't fit here. And sometimes getting that new opportunity, getting a fresh opportunity, and getting the guys in the way who, no matter what, right? If Zach LaVine's on this team, I got to get Zach LaVine the ball. Yep. Zach LaVine's got to take his shots. He's going to take his time. He's the highest paid dude. He's the $40 million guy. He's got to get the ball. That doesn't exist here anymore. In fact, Josh Giddey may end up becoming the $40 million guy. The money keeps going up every game that we watch. I said the 30. $30 million. The Bulls now going to come to the table like, oh, so 30, right? 30, he's going to be like, yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price. You missed out on the $30 million. The prices went up. So, you know. I can't wait. Hey, bro, I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not going to tell you what they are. I have 3 tweets already saved in the drafts when Josh Giddey's contract extension with 3 specific people tagged in each of the tweets. I'm sure you can figure it out. They're all at MacPick. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Only one of them. Subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Hats will be thrown over on CHGO. But before we get into this final topic, we got to give Billy Donovan his flowers, man, especially after last night. Shout out to Florida. National championship. That was a wild finish to that game. That was a great finish.
That was nuts. But we got to talk about, before we do that, we got to talk about BetterHelp. Listen, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health, but traditional in-person therapy can be expensive and range from $100 to $250 per session. Well, that's where BetterHelp comes in. With online therapy, you get quality care at a price that makes sense, saving you time and money. Therapy isn't just for life's toughest moments. It can help with everyday stress, learning how to set boundaries, or developing positive coping skills. Having access to support when you need it can make a difference. Your well-being is worth it. So visit betterhelp.com/LockedOnNBA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. More Locked On Bulls coming up next.
All right, Bulls fans, by the way, we need everybody under the sound of my voice, whether you're listening to this live or after the fact, go to LockedOnDaily.com and sign up for the Locked On Bulls Daily newsletter. We are having a competition here within Locked On, and me and Pat need to win that. So we need everybody to go sign up for the Locked On Bulls Daily newsletter and get us in there, man. We appreciate you guys for helping us out with that.
What's that website one more time?
Locked On Daily.
LockedOnDaily.com.
And you can go navigate to Locked On Bulls there. Go ahead and sign up. Just put your email address in. Every single morning we'll be dropping a newsletter in there. So there you go.
What? We'll make it easy. We'll put it in the description.
We'll put it in the description. By the way, I'm not calling you that. 1967, the spotlight is never on P. Will. It's never on P. Will. It's never on P. Will. The spotlight is never on P. Will. But Pat, so Billy Donovan was officially named as a Hall of Famer, man. And his collegiate career, I mean, when you look at it, and I think people forget that it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not the NBA Hall of Fame. What he did as a college player, he also was a solid NBA player where, if I'm not, did he win a ring as a player? Was he on that team that won a ring?
He was on, no,
he didn't. Okay.
Win a ring in the NBA.
Okay.
He did take Providence a heck of a long way. He was a heck of a college player.
Okay. And what he did as a college head coach, like Billy Donovan deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for what he did. He's one of the best college coaches of all time. How you feeling about this, Pat?
Listen, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think if Billy Donovan does not leave college, he is in the conversations of the Rick Pitino's. He's in the conversations of the Gino Auriemma, who just won, right? He's in the conversations of the Coach K's, who has continually won at Duke. He's in those conversations. Back-to-back championships is hard to do anywhere. It's extremely hard to do in college basketball, and he got a bunch of guys to come back. Of course, Joakim Noah on that team, Al Horford on that team. I believe Eric Bledsoe is on that team. Like, there's a bunch of pieces on that team that you look at and go, is Eric Bledsoe on there? Am I thinking Duke? I think Eric Bledsoe was on Duke. But there's a bunch of pieces that you look at from that team, and they stick around and they come back. And even that, right? Like getting guys to come back from going to the NBA at a time where paying people wasn't exactly on the table. That is a huge thing, to just be able to persuade guys to do something like that and go out there and to compete for their championship a second year in a row. How Billy Donovan was as a player, how Billy Donovan was as a college head coach, he 110% deserves to be in here. The one thing that I will say, Corey Brewer is who I was thinking of on.
Oh yeah, Corey Brewer. Yeah, Eric Bledsoe was on Kentucky. But yeah.
The one thing that I think that is tough is a lot of people are going to look at it from the NBA side of things, and that's not how the Basketball Hall of Fame works. It's just, well, they let a lot of people in. You know what I mean?
It's a basketball. It takes everything you've done in basketball. And like you said, Billy Donovan's had an amazing college career. Had he not, I mean, look at it, what we went through this summer. Like a major job came open and people, like, they would love to have had Billy Donovan go back to college, right? So, whatever the shortcoming is of Billy Donovan as an NBA coach, it's not really the conversation to be had here, right? I understand why people want to turn it that way. Like, I understand it, but you got to understand what this is. This is the Basketball Hall of Fame, and Billy Donovan definitely deserves it. 2 Bulls legends are now going in because Carmelo Anthony's also getting into the Hall of Fame.
No, Melo gonna make it in. Ain't that something?
Listen, you know what I like about this, and shout out to Melo, but the fact is that for all the people that try to ask, is Derrick Rose actually going to get in? Yeah, he's going to get in.
I would say Melo's accomplished more basketball-wise than D-Rose.
Yeah, Melo definitely deserves to get it. Like what he did.
Once T-Mac went in, bro, I keep telling y'all this. Once T-Mac went in, it was over.
The bar being like, and I get the what T-Mac was when he was healthy, but never mind, because I don't want to have this.
No, T-Mac was a dog. Listen, he was exactly what you said. He was a monster. But yeah, bro, come on now, y'all know what this is. Like Derrick Rose is getting in. There's no question about it. The one thing that I think if you want to talk about, some of the resumes of people getting in that maybe is a little bit weird is the T-Mac one. But outside of that, I mean, like Yao Ming is weird too, because what did Yao accomplish? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Yao's in for being Chinese, and I don't like that.
I mean, you could say that, but I don't know. Should you have said that? Is the question.
No, I'm just. It's not like that. I'm just saying, like, I feel like he's in because people view him as like he was a great Chinese player that came over, and that was something that wasn't really high on the list. But Yao Ming didn't do enough.
Yeah. Matter of fact, did T-Mac was he ever even on an Olympic gold medal team? What has T-Mac won?
I believe nothing. Now he was on a Spurs team that made the playoffs.
All right, it's time to go. That's what we're talking about now. Listen, I love T-Mac as a player. Make no mistake about it. I had T-Mac not gotten hurt, he would have had an even better career. But I mean, a few All-Star teams, a couple of scoring titles. If that's your barrier, I don't even think he ever won. I mean, he didn't even go to college. So he didn't even win like an NCAA championship. Like, he's won nothing.
Yep. I questioned it when he got in. Shout out to him, though.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to him. Shout out to him. No, it is what it is.
He won Vince Carter's cousin.
He did play more games than Alonzo Ball. So,
well, there is that. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. The link is in the description right now. Stop what you're doing. Go sign up for the newsletter. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. All that good stuff. It's your boy, Pat the Designer.
Absolutely. You guys can follow me at CEO Hayes. Locked on Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV. Find us. We there. That's all we got to say. We'll see you guys live tonight after the game. Love you guys. Go Bulls, y'all. Peace.
Peace.